him, and you know, it was really great. You know, after all year, the last 4 years, I think Kevin's been working at getting a side and getting the right type of players into the club, which will make us a force. And today it all happened. It didn't happen from the very start, but we just kept chipping away, and we're fortunate enough to finish up with a win. It was terrific.
What did he say to you at three-quarter time? Same thing, I think, Jeff, as you're going to say, three-quarter time. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. He just said, well, you know, the ball's entirely in our hands, and he said, you know, like, it's up to you boys. We've worked hard all year, and it was just a matter of getting down and keep working. We had our fair share of the ball in the third quarter, so the guys were still confident enough that we could finish off. We've put in a very hard pre-season, and we've always been confident that we can finish off games, and we have done throughout the season. And today we just did just that. We kept working and kept plugging away, and we made a couple of moves, and they come off very well for us, and we finished up.
There was never any panic when things refused to go right early on?
Oh, we were, naturally enough, any player would be concerned. At half-time, we weren't sort of really getting our ball game going at all. We're handballing under pressure, and weren't going directly to teammates. We were looping them, and our passes were going a bit astray. But credit must go to Hawthorn. They beat us again at the start, and you really attacked the ball. And I thought they were beating us to the ball in the centre and getting it out early. But we just kept working at it.
Terry, what went through your mind in that last quarter when Essendon had hit the front? And we were, in fact, I think about 5 points up, and the ball came down, Curran marked, and you gave him a 15-metre penalty, and Hawthorn hit the front again.
Yes, it was a very bad mistake on my behalf in giving him that 15-metre penalty, and I think that goal put Hawthorn back in front, and it certainly was disastrous as far as I was concerned, and wasn't too happy at all with that, because I felt that you know, the guys up forward were doing so well, and I took Paul Weston's place, and he went to centre half forward and really played well up there. And for me, just to give a stupid 15-metre penalty away like that, which resulted in a goal, I was a fair bit very worried, man, at that particular time. But to my teammates, they just kept slogging away and got the ball down there. And I think Roger Merritt took that big mark in the goal square and got us back in front again, and we just continued on with it.
Totally out of character, Terry, that coming from you. Did you misjudge how far from goal you were? You thought perhaps it was a bit further upfield?
Oh, I think as the game wears on, obviously every play is sort of tend to become a bit weary in the legs and things like that. And I remember Shane sort of saying to me, you know, don't, but the leg had already, the brain had sort of triggered the thing off the legs, and the legs moved forward and bang, kicked that bloody ball. And I said, oh my God, what have I done here? And,
a bit of white
it resulted in a goal. It was a good kick. I thought I might have been able to put him off on the mark, but it resulted in a goal, and it didn't make me feel too happy at all.
Fabulous finish.
Your temporary lapse. I don't think there was any doubt about you winning in the last quarter, was there?
Oh,
the way you started.
Well, yeah, it was very handy. We knew we had to get off to a good start, and which was what we did. We got out there and kicked the first couple of goals. But I think the guys sort of really wanted to do it for Sheedy. He's been a terrific guy and stuck by a lot of the players throughout the year. We've seen a lot of players have been a bit patchy and a bit in and out, and also the injured players, and that there's a few that were probably a bit unlucky not to have been selected today, and likes of Stephen Carey and Tony Bahajar and Brian Wood, and these types of players could have easily fitted into the side, but so, you know, it was really a terrific effort for us to get up for those guys and the rest of the players in the club and the supporters after letting them down so badly last season.
Quite a few stories before the match that Baker, Daniher weren't up to scratch, and that Madden was ill.
Well, no, I don't, Mike. I think that I didn't really know that. You know, both Baker, Lee has had a bit of a, has had a crook knee, and has had a lot of fluid building up on it after the games and that. And he was a bit of a concern for the club. And but going out and doing as well as what he did last week, it was he came back out and did equally the same again today. But in the likes of Paul, well, he was certainly right. There's no worries. You never know whether the bugger's going to turn up to the train earlier on in the week. And I suppose that kicked off a couple of rumours as to whether Van der Haar was ill or not. But I think he contributed, as all the players did. But Simon, Simon was right. I didn't hear of any problems that he had before the game.
Well, Terry,
Can I talk to my mate here for a moment?
Sure,
Sorry.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Terry, you kicked 1 goal 7 in the second quarter, and you need your fair share of luck in the final game, don't you? You've got to get some of those who've got to squeeze them through for goals. But did that have any demoralising effect on the players? Did you talk about that at half time?
Naturally enough, Kevin stressed that the forward line had to straighten up, and try and put a few more through in the second half. But I think that resulted in just Hawthorn's pressure. They've got a very strong defence line, and it certainly made it very hard for us because we weren't I don't think we had the forward line at all very open there in the early stages, and whether that was a reason for the ball not coming down quite quickly enough or directly enough or what, I don't know. But and a lot of the shots that we did have were kicked under pressure and they were snaps. Whereas on Hawthorn's hand, they had a lot of direct shots at goal and put them through.
Good difference.
Terry, thanks for joining us. We were delighted that you did it last year after what had happened out there, and it must have really hurt to climb up all those steps and talk to us. It's great to have you back under the different circumstances this year.
Thanks very much, Tim.
Well done. Well,
1984 Grand Final, and the match